Now I just want to show two examples of some things one that came up recently, and then one was Jeremy and I working on our podcast design. The first one is there was a colleague of mine that reached out yesterday, and he said, "Hey, we have a teacher that is trying to do something for graduation. They want to put together a presentation for graduation that has the original copy of this had all the students. I removed them because we don't, want to show all the students, but the idea here remains the same. So with these slides that you have, each student was an individual slide. And the teacher wanted to embed YouTube music into the slide and do it as a playlist. But because you had a variety of slides, the problem was that when you go to a different slide, right, the embed from YouTube stops. So what I did mention to them was that you could utilize the built-in audio that is available through Canva. There's a ton of different stuff on here. You can see if there's any popular music that you want to bring in. Maybe we'll just do this Jordan Almost one. You'll notice that at the bottom, there's a waveform here. So this is the audio that would play. And you can adjust this to whatever you have on the slide. So let's say, right, I'm going to add a page and then this extends. But let's say I want to actually bring this back because with those various students, maybe I want different pieces to play during each slide that is showcasing that student, right? So this is a really cool thing to play around with and gives you some of like the capabilities of editing with a lot of like video software where, I think iMovie comes to mind where you have your videos, you can put in some different audios and things into it in your lines. Canva has done a great job in building this in to make it very easy for people to create things like this. So this is one of my favorite things too to play around with is just adding audio in directly from Canva. Again, you might not find everything you're looking for in terms of music, but there is a decent number of things available that I think are very useful. With that said too, one thing I want to point out is that you can also utilize, if this feature is released to you, if you signed up for it, or it may be available later, is let's say that you have presentations here. The new thing is now you can add a variety of different pages to any single Canva creation, right? So if you're starting with a presentation as we did here, but then I want to add in a video, I could go and let's say I want to add a YouTube video in, right? I could put that here and now we have a YouTube video built. We have to still put the video in there, of course, but it's in that YouTube style. And then let's say the next one that I wanted to do was, we'll go here. Let's do a doc. Okay. And then this will allow you to maybe write some things if you want to. And the greatest thing about this, I think, is prior. So really just a week or two ago, the way that this was designed was you had a presentation like we have here, and you worked within that presentation, right? And the features that were available were geared towards presentation. So now the great thing that Canva has done, like I mentioned, is combine this so that you can mix and match and create a much more dynamic presentation with other elements involved and deliver something that's really, really unique. The second example that I want to show you is this. This is something that Jeremy and I just did, and it's all part of us kind of modifying our podcast look. And Canva was very helpful with this because we were able to take a couple photos and basically bring them into a pre-designed template of a podcast. So I'll just kind of show you what we did. And Jeremy and I were working together, and you can see here there's a ton of different options, right? Um, I'm not seeing ours, but that's okay. We grabbed a podcast template. We found one that had, okay, that's okay. So we'll grab this one, um, and customize the template. And basically, what we did is if you look at ours, um, they had two people on ours, and then we had to adjust some colors and things. And Jeremy and I were at uh, like a presentation together, and there were some couches out in the hallway. So we quick took some photos of each other, acting like we were talking to each other, and it looks very much like we were. But here's what we actually pulled in. So this is me, right? This was the original photo that we pulled in. And what I found, Jeremy knows this, but like what I found was when we tried to just do the background remover, watch what happens. The couch stayed in, right? And so this was an issue because obviously we didn't want to have, the big couch in there behind us. And so you can see in the one that is our final version, that couch is gone. So what I wanted to show you is if we go to edit and we use the click option, this will actually allow me to click myself and then do magic grab. And take myself off the couch, delete that, and now we have something very similar. Right? So that was super handy for being able to get rid of that. Because initially I was talking to Jeremy and I said, shoot, it has the couch in there, So then I played around a little bit. I was like, oh, magic grab, we can take and we can remove items from each other too. They distinguish. They had the outline of me and the outline of the couch, and I was able to pull myself from off the couch and put myself into this. And then a lot of this stuff was just from the template itself, and then I just modified a few things, added our logos, and there you have it. New podcast design for future episodes. So, Jeremy, what do you think?